Next up is Nancy, who's already coming to the stage. Nancy was a founder member of the HR Inner Circle. In fact, who's watched The Social Network? Who's seen the film The Social Network? Yeah, about half the room. Do you remember a chap called Eduardo Saverin who was in it? He was the third person to sign up to Facebook, and he was the one who Mark Zuckerberg completely shafted by issuing extra share capital and freezing him out. Remember Eduardo Saverin from the film? Eduardo Saverin is worth $10.1 billion today. Nancy Press was the third person to join the HR Inner Circle. And sadly is not worth, as far as I know, $10.1 billion. She was, however, a speaker at the annual conference 2 years ago, speaking on dealing with difficult people, which was a great talk, and she got incredibly high ratings, and at the risk of insulting all the other people who spoke on that date, we asked her back to do more, and she is speaking today on HR in an Emoji World. Nancy.
Emojis. 2 years ago, my business partner Marie, who sat there row F, pink top, hi, she came to work for me and said, in 2 years' time, mental health is going to be big, and so is equality, diversity and dignity. And I looked at her and said, there's something even bigger. Emojis. It's true. Everybody knows what that one is. Well, you don't. Wait till I tell you. Whistle-stop tour of the history of an emoji. So they were conceived in 1999, and it literally means picture character. How friendly. But the generation gap. 1 in 2 people in here will use an emoji. Half of the people that HRD publication interviewed said that they had used an emoji in totally the wrong context. 17% of those getting into serious trouble. So emojis can change the way that people think about you. So I am, as Jenny and probably Daniel will say, and Marie especially, a serial emoji user. I use them in everything. But it can pay dividends if you're trying to build a work culture. And I'm sure Perry's going to disagree with me, but it can, because they can make you more open and flexible. With 1 in 4 people saying that if a senior manager puts an emoji, a smiley face, at the end of an email, it makes them feel more open and friendly. So Jenny, wherever you are, look forward to the emails from Daniel with emojis at the end. So you can see emojis have actually been around for quite a long time. If you think about it, schools and customer services have always used an emoji. You've all done training. How many training events have you been to where you've had to do the sad face and the smiley face? Lots, I bet. But what does this mean in a HR world? Well, a little quiz. You've got to now guess what these actually are. Google has actually thought that seeing as Generation Z and millennials are coming into the workplace, let's embrace emojis, and they now put them in their policies. This is great, you will all think, but did you know emojis have more than one meaning? Hence, you are about to become a HR minefield. NASDAQ and FTSE 100 companies have used emojis for their marketing. Coca-Cola use them all the time. Durex do. And as you can see, 2 great events. But what will this mean to Daniel and Quinton, who are about to see emojis probably entering employment tribunals? Let's be honest. If you think about it, here we have diversity and ethnicity. So you have the prayer emoji. Yeah, doesn't mean that to everybody. You can also have different colours. And I'll explain later about what Victoria Pendleton says in the BBC. If you get this wrong in a policy, are you actually now causing discrimination? As we saw on the previous slide, could it be sexual harassment? If you sent an emoji, it doesn't mean if I send this to you that I love you. It could mean it's just a friendly way. But if you send an emoji in the wrong context to someone and you are the victim of that harasser, have you just given Daniel some evidence for his tribunals? So is it for real? Yes, it is. This is one of the very many samples we get from one of our clients, and I have asked their permission for this. And you can see that they have used emojis, text speak, so the grammar is appalling. And this led to a grievance being raised, them resigning, and them also trying to claim a case for personal injury. There's a whole ream of texts, but this is how it went about. No speaking to anyone, no formal letters, all done like this by text and with the use of emojis. But what's the positive outcome? We've just had World Mental Health Day. Charities like Mind use emojis. So you can say to someone, today I'm feeling really happy and funny, or I could be feeling really, really sad, or I could just be feeling... But, and here's a thought, for question 2, everybody, I'm giving you the answer for Daniel's membership questionnaire. What about an emoji policy? So then we don't have employees and companies all getting confused about what an emoji should be used for. So here's some ideas for you. Feel free to use them, Daniel. You could decide which ones were off limits. Don't use an aubergine. Keanu Reeves was recently on a UK television programme, and he said that he didn't know why someone was really, really upset about the aubergine emoji. It turns out that he was on a training course for actors in Los Angeles, and it was a certain person that sent this text to a lady. He refused to comment and confirmed that it was Harvey Weinstein. But he's a serial harasser. That now has a different connotation to you all than an aubergine. What about if we use them in email or marketing materials? What if we let customer services use them? Anyone come on trains today? LNER? Look at this. I've got them a new tweet. Sorry your journey was so chocolate emoji. And, just because I had to get this one in, Brexit and Pestle aren't immune to emojis. Look, see, I've got Brexit in. No one else has done that today. So, O2 is a big company, and they have come up with the top 5 etiquette rules for emojis in the workplace. See, you're all excited. So, the first one is it can impact how you are treated as an employee. So, the Journal of Social, Psychological and Personality Science found that too many smiley faces can make you appear a little bit inadequate and somewhat. Know your audience. How do you know who your audience is? Remember, we have a diverse work culture. Thumbs up here is great, but if you did that in the Arab states, it's very rude. So remember, know your audience and think about diversity. What O2 have said as well is, which I love this one, some super corporate environments do not like emojis as a language at all, and that you should leave them out. That's great, but I'd also like to point out that the business marketing head for O2 also said, please don't put emojis in your job descriptions. So remember, if in doubt, leave it out. See? And your demographics. Not even Santa's immune. See? Poor Santa. So what you've got to remember is Victoria Pendleton, who I mentioned briefly earlier, she's on a BBC viral video where she said that if you use an emoji or a GIF or a meme that is not in your ethnicity, that is digital blackfacing. All of a sudden, you've all gone very quiet. And their top tip. Remember, it's a language and a young person's language. 36% of millennials asked said that they would prefer to use an emoji to a word, which answers an awful lot about how that started out life as chocolate ice cream in Japan and ended up as something else over here. So yes, there you go, my top tips for an emoji world of HR. Thank you.